Hey everyone, this is Kurisu, and tonight we will be continuing work on our channel emotes. I'm actually really excited because I was looking earlier, and even though I haven't made like a ton yet, I've finished more than I thought I had so far. Hey, welcome to chat! Let's see, Gothic Demon Malhair? What, which name do you prefer to go by? How's my night going so far? So far it's been good. I got home from work, took care of the dogs, got some KFC, which this is gonna sound really ridiculous, but I have wanted KFC for like 2 or 3 weeks now, and I just couldn't be bothered. Gothic is fine, awesome. So welcome to the channel. It says it's your first time in chat, so I'll give you a little bit of a summary of what it's like on my channel. Um, no, I did not have rice with my KFC, but I totally would have. I just had like a ton of fries, and I don't think I could have fit all of it if I added rice to the mix. Um, but anyway, Gothic, my channel is mostly an art channel, but it kind of just depends on what I have going on. When I don't feel like working on art, I usually stream video games or Q&A. Right now, my dog Hoki is in the background saying hi to everybody, both in chat and everybody outside. Tonight we also have a guest host, Hambone, my other dog. He's just kind of chilling out on the rug behind me. Isn't that right? You gonna come over here and say hi to everybody? He's over here, but he's not really saying anything. Um, She's gonna do Geometry Dash for us when she's done. Oh my gosh. Yes, so last night I got Geometry Dash from Steam. I've never played it before, I don't know what it's about or anything. But everybody was insistent that it would be a real pain to play, so we'll go for it once all the emotes I'm working on are finished. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on art. Awesome. In addition, I also try to keep everything like just a really welcoming environment. Everybody is welcome to always join my chat, do whatever. The only thing that I have a problem with is when people are disrespectful to each other. So as long as everybody is being formidable, there are no issues here. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna see which emote I was gonna make next. Okay, so yeah, last night I finished my frog emote, which is my character Kurisu wearing a frog hoodie. It's based on my old emote. I'm in the process of replacing all my emotes because I sold my original character design. So this is my original frog emote, so it's kind of just an update of that. And we also finished the rage emote right here. Let's see. And next I am going to make an emote with the scythe, because the scythe is my favorite weapon. Hopefully Twitch doesn't get too upset about that. Oh yeah, I also reworked my yawn emote. Added the hand here because everybody was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what that emote is supposed to be. When I say that, that doesn't actually apply to everybody, but there were like 2 or 3 different people who were like, oh, I like your yell emote, or I like your crying emote. And both times I was like, what are you talking about? So then I figured out, oh, it's the yawn. So we're gonna go ahead and update. Soul Water sounds like your type of anime then. Soul Eater, yes. Soul Eater is actually one of my favorite anime series. It's unfortunate that it strayed from the manga because that kind of just made it so they had to end the anime. I've never actually read the manga, but yeah, I that's one of the ones where I would like to see a reboot where they follow the actual story without having to like make a detour or anything in the story, because my understanding is that that is actually the reason why they ended up having to end the anime, because they strayed so far from what actually happened in the story that they couldn't continue. um, so yeah. Um, right? Like, I do prefer watching anime over reading manga, but it's more because, like, you actually get to see the action happening in front of you versus, like, imagining all of it, which, like, that can be just as exciting, but it's different because a lot of times manga is in, like, black and white. So you just get a little bit more excitement when everything is animated in color. I have watched like a couple episodes of Ruby, but I've not actually like really watched it. Um, the original animation was really clunky, and I had a hard time staying interested, so I moved on to something else. Make a lettuce Kurisu emote? Oh my gosh. I will add that to the list. Um, it's very 3D-ish. Yeah, which, depending on what's going on, that can be okay, but when it comes to anime, I'm not a fan of 3D, like, CG art. Like, it's just not something I'm into. Because, like, there are very, very, very few anime series that are watchable, in my opinion, when they have the, like, fake 2D rendering with the 3D models, because like 9 times out of 10 there are angles that just don't work. What are you doing? So Hambone was just booping my door. I'm not sure if it was because he wanted to try to open it because he knows how handles work, like the door handle, or if he saw the dog in the mirror again. He's not a fan of the dog that lives in the mirror. It looks just like him, but that dog doesn't belong here. So sometimes he has to tell that dog to go away. But it hasn't been as much of a problem. You just slobbered all over my chair. You silly. That was a big yawn. I'm surprised it was quiet. Usually you're really noisy about your yawns. Go get your toys. Get your frog. Good boy. Right. Let's see here. Loving the 2D art and drawn art like the Ghibli films. You know, I agree. Like, the hand-drawn art just has a certain feel to it that the 3D art will never be able to encompass. Puts a mirror in front of Hoki. See, Hoki doesn't really mind. Actually, I take that back. She does not like the mirror dog either. Her mirror dog looks different than Hambone's mirror dog, though, which they haven't figured out yet, but they might. They might eventually. Tofu's the name of your pupper, and he doesn't mind the mirror, and in fact, probably knows it's him. That's impressive. Because, like, I don't know for sure if. I don't know. Like, because I know Hoki definitely doesn't understand that the mirror is her. Um, she's. She's really funny. Like, I will share a couple of instances of her just being, like, a little scaredy dog because she gets afraid, like, she gets so scared of like the silliest things, but then she's like really like unbothered by other things that you would expect her to be afraid of. So it's like really confusing. But like an example, so she is not a fan of plastic bags. So if she is outside with me and we're like going on a walk or something and she sees a plastic bag like blowing across the ground, that is not okay to her. Like she does not want that bag to be anywhere near her. But at the same time, she wants to tell that bag that it better go away. Like it better not come anywhere near her. So she always has to like try to go over to it even though she's afraid of it, which is, I don't know. And then she's also afraid of the wheelbarrow. Um, like, because we were visiting family one time, and I think there might have been something on the wheel that she tried to grab. But yeah, she is. She is not a fan of shadows. Like, when we go out at night, I have to try to make sure that she doesn't notice the shadows because otherwise she will not take care of her business. Because she just wants to get rid of the shadows and they won't go away. Um, but anyway, the wheelbarrow story. So I think she saw something on the wheel that she tried to grab onto. But, like, when I went out to check on her, because, like, she was outside in the fenced yard, I see her and she's just, like, super alert. Like, there's something severely wrong. So I go over and look and I'm like, Hoki, what are you doing? Like, you're just staring at the wheelbarrow. Is there something wrong with it? And she's like barking at it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I like pull her closer. And I'm like, see, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with this. And then I like moved the wheel a little bit and she jumped back. And I'm like, that's what it was. She doesn't like the fact that the wheel moves. But while I was like turning the wheel, I found a ladybug. So I'm pretty sure she tried to get the ladybug. So yeah. Random doggo shenanigans. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on emotes for tonight. Let me try to figure out which one. Yeah, that's the right layer. So I have like 50-ish layers here. Every single emote is on its own layer. And that is to help keep things more organized. She is a big baby, but she's also literally the most lovable, affectionate, friendly dog that I've ever had. Which is crazy because, like, I used to think that labs were super friendly to people. But, like, she, generally speaking, doesn't bark at people unless she's, like, saying, hey, come over, I want to say hi. And I've literally not seen her not get along with a person or another dog. Puts a pickle next to her, oh my gosh. She would probably eat it. She'll eat anything. Like, if she sees it and she can attempt to eat it, she will. She's basically like my living garbage disposal. I have to keep a really close eye on her. Yay! Wolfie used my hydrate redeem. I don't really have anything hydrating. I have some Mountain Dew still from KFC. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and drink some of that. Alright, and that portion of our stream was staying hydrated with Kurisu. Yay, hydration! Hi, Hambone. Are you being a good boy? Wanna say hi to everybody? I love you, doggo. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Oh my gosh. So now, Hambone is trying to do his party trick and get up on my lap. which is usually fine, but I've not had him on my lap while streaming. I don't think I'll be able to work on art if I get him up here. Not right now, baby boy. You go play with your toys for a little bit. Here, go get your frog. Go get your frog. See? Go get it. Yeah, you can get your alligator. Whichever. Might as well do a Mountain Dew emote. I don't really like to do anything that's like branded. Just because a lot of companies get really like iffy about stuff like that. Not that it would be likely that I would run into issues, but it's just not worth it. I mean, because like I've read plenty of articles about like Nintendo trying to like sue children over making things with their stuff, so just an example. You're just imagining Kurisu having a stash of Mountain Dew, and when somebody gets too close, she'll hiss or screech at you. Oh my gosh. See, the funny thing is, I don't usually drink that much soda. I've just had some recently. Cause like, I bought a case of it, so it's just kind of like until I run out. Yay, ramen! It's okay, you can have it. That's one of those things I don't really care too much about. Like, I am usually willing to share. I just don't like to share my food because I don't know. Like, it's a complicated thing. Like, if I know somebody doesn't have food, 100% of the time I will share my food with them. But if somebody is just trying to take something that I have because they're like, oh, I want some, the answer is usually gonna be no. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd probably still let somebody have like a small piece, but it's not the same when somebody's just like trying to take food that I'm eating. Ever plan on doing a free giveaway after a certain amount of subs? I'd say it would depend, cause like with as busy as I am, like I'm assuming you mean like an art giveaway. It's not something I'm really interested in doing at the moment. I have kind of like a joke goal where, let me see, like I actually forgot how many subs it was. Let me scroll down here. So yeah, it's mostly a joke, but for events on my profile here on Twitch, I have a listing for a KurisuFox face reveal if I ever have 10,000 subs. knowing that that is like a ridiculous number. Mostly just because I'm not really into the idea of a face reveal. But if I had 10,000 subs, that would be more than enough reason for me to not really be too concerned about it. I don't have ham or eggs. Actually, I do have some eggs in the refrigerator, but I don't know if they're still good. Yeah, like I said, I don't really want to do a face reveal. That's why the number is absurd. But at least I'm willing to admit that. Like, I don't actually expect to reach that goal. Oh no! Sniper! Why would you do that? Don't take the seasoning packets. I mean, I guess you can because I'll find you, but I don't recommend it. Sends 1,000 subs? Oh my gosh, Wolfie, you're ridiculous. Well, see, the funny thing is, though, like, I don't think I would be too bothered, really, if somebody did actually take all of my ramen seasoning packets, because, like, I have plenty of seasonings that I could make something work. Because, like, when I cook spaghetti noodles, I don't use sauce, I just use, like, butter and a variety of seasonings. So, like, I'll usually put a little bit of, like, oregano, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. Like, I don't like garlic, but it's one of those seasonings that you can put in most things, and as long as it's not enough where you can taste it by itself, it's fine. Yeah, I remember working on that. That one was a lot of fun. Because, like, a lot of times when people commission art from me, they don't usually ask for hybrid characters that are, like, a combination of species. They're usually like, oh, I have a wolf, or I have a fox, or I have a dragon. Those are generally the most common. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to draw a wolf-otter hybrid. Why you say that, Sniper? Just because I can make the best of a situation. Yeah, over time you'll probably find more things that are odd, like odd food quirks that I have. You're awesome, Wolfie. I keep getting distracted. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Thinking about what kind of face, like what kind of expression I want with the scythe, because I don't want it to be like aggressive. I just want it to be kind of like calm, kind of like not necessarily aloof, but just kind of like meh. Yeah, that is really disappointing that people are buying AI art thinking that it's actually been drawn by an artist. Because, like, I know some of it can look like it was made, but, like, if you actually look at it, it's usually pretty obvious. Like, things that I look for are usually in, like, how the brush strokes are. So, like, if there are brush strokes in a piece that look like they're disconnected and shouldn't be, that's usually a pretty good sign that it's probably AI. Or like if you have parts of your foreground in the picture, so like let's say you have a character that's more towards like the front of the image, like the focus, and you have like a background, and then they have like parts within that character that are like blending into the background, like the actual lines, that's usually a pretty good sign that it is AI as well. So like if they have like strands of hair or something that are blending into like the line art of a bush in the background or something like that, it's usually AI. So yeah, random things to look for. Let's see. Please don't tell me you put cut up hot dogs as meat for the pasta. No, I don't. I'm actually not a huge fan of hot dogs. Because it's something, like, I'll eat them on occasion. Like, if that's what's available, but I don't, like, seek them out usually. I would rather consume, like, real meat, if that makes any sense. Like, yes, technically hot dogs are a product that has been produced from some variety of meat, but I prefer things that are more like beef or chicken. You've also noticed that artists sell characters using the same base and slightly altered the designs. Yeah, that is something that's kind of common, especially like I want to think how I want to word this without like being offensive because it's not my intention. But like there are a lot of artists who will either create a base of their own, like in their own style, and kind of make different variations from that, which that can be alright, but like I feel like if you're gonna do that, you should make more of an effort to make each individual character a little bit more unique. Like if you're gonna use the same base, like, you know, make characters with different builds or something, like, you know, even though you're starting with the same figure, like, I don't know, like have characters that are like bigger or smaller or whatever, like don't just make them all look identical. I appreciate that, Wolfie. Yeah, because that is one thing that is a little different about my art versus other digital artists. Everything that I make is from scratch, from the ground up. Because, like you said, it gives every character a unique look, but it also just feels more genuine, I guess. Because, like, I could make a base and make 50 different characters from that, but after a while, they would all just feel the same to me. Like, even if they all had, like, completely different patterns or faces or hairstyles or whatever, like, you can only make so many different things from the same base that are unique. Oh my gosh. Sniper, I'm still I'm still laughing about the thing you said about the hot dogs. Right? Cuz like the only benefit I see with that type of art is that it does cut down the time significantly. Um like it's a lot quicker to produce art like that, but in my opinion, it drops the quality a lot. Just because, like, I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh because, like, I don't want to criticize people who do that. Because, like, I know that everybody does whatever they need to make a living. So I'm not bashing anybody who does that. It's just not something that I would be able to do. Right, exactly. And, like, I don't know. This is probably going to be the most judgmental art thing that I'll ever say. Or, like, something, like, along the lines of probably the most judgmental thing I'll say. But, like, it's always really irritating to me as an artist who draws everything from the ground up to see people selling artwork where they have permission to use a base that they haven't drawn to, like, sell their creations or whatever, because there are artists who allow people to do that, and, like, it's fine, it's within their terms of service and whatnot. So, like, that's not the problem. But the fact that people in general are more likely to be interested in buying those pieces, like, it just seems really, like, I don't want to say disheartening or disappointing, even though it can fall into those categories. Like, it's just kind of frustrating sometimes. But at the same time, like, those pieces are usually a lot less expensive, so I understand that there could also be, like, a budget side of it as well. But yeah, that's kind of one of those things. It's like a touchy subject sometimes. One moment, I'm gonna mute myself real quick and check on Hoki. Alright, I'm back. Big question. You ever plan on doing a face down camera and watching you draw live on sheet rather than electronically? So I do actually have a 4K camera for my traditional art. At this moment in time, I don't. Oh my gosh, Hoki. Puppers, what are you yelling about? Why are you yelling in the house? Oh, you want to come over and say hi too? Hi, Hambone. You want to give me kisses? Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, I do have plans to draw traditional art on stream. I just don't have everything set up quite yet. Last year, well, I guess technically it was earlier this year. This year has just felt really long. So when I was dealing with some drama, my drafting table got broken. And that's one thing that I plan on replacing, just because I would rather draw on, like, an actual table versus, like, on top of my drawing tablet, just because, like, even though I could use it as a surface for that, I don't want to risk getting, like, any sort of ink or stains or anything on my drawing tablet, because it is one that has, like, the actual display on my tablet, so it would kind of ruin things a bit. Hoki screaming in her own shadow. No, she's probably yelling at the people like the people and or dogs outside because she wants to go play with them. So, like, another story. Hoki is just so funny when it comes to wanting to, like, interact with others. Because, like, there are times when we'll just be outside, like, just, you know, walking or whatever, and she'll see another dog, and she gets so excited about seeing that other dog. But the issue is that she is so excited that she's, like, literally screaming. Like, she sounds like this is horrible to describe it this way, but it's the closest comparison I have. Like, she's so excited that she's making noises that sound like somebody is literally trying to, like, unalive her. But she's like just trying to get that other dog's attention, like, oh my gosh, pay attention to me, say hello, I wanna come say hi to you, can I be your best friend? But she comes across like she isn't necessarily being aggressive, but yeah, she is 100% total drama queen. Um, but like, her biggest issue is that she's very intense. Like, she is extremely, extremely friendly and sociable and would not hurt a fly unless she was trying to eat it. But, um, like, her issue is that for other dogs and people who don't know her, like, she comes across like she is trying to be aggressive when she's just being, like, too overly friendly, if it makes any sense at all. But because of the noises she makes and, like, the fact that she's, like, trying to pull on her leash to, like, get to where they are, it can come across like she's trying to be aggressive, and so it's something we need to work on. But yeah, every day with Hoki is an adventure. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, Wolfie. I hope you have a great night. Oh my gosh, Sniper. Um, so a little. Oh my gosh. Um, so an explanation on Sniper's quote there. The other night, I don't remember if it was like this week or last week, but I was streaming, I think it was last week, and I hear a noise behind me, and Hambone is chewing on something, but I don't know what he's chewing on. Initially, I think, oh, it's just a toy, and I'm like, that sounds a little too crunchy to be one of his toys. So I look back, and he is chewing through the box of my brand new guitar tuner that I have not even used yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Hambone, why? And so yeah, I kind of overreacted a little bit, and I'm like, what the hell are you eating? And he just kind of looks up like, it's okay, Mom. I'm not eating it. It's just kind of crunchy. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and take that anyway. my gosh, Sniper, you're ridiculous. See, the funny part is that, like, I'm not a fan of onions. Onions are one of my least favorite foods. Yeah, I mean, as far as onions go, they can work if I'm like, I don't know, like if I'm cooking a roast or something, I usually put onions in it. But that's because they help flavor everything, but then they also just take the flavor of whatever meat they're cooking in. So at that point, it's fine because they're just meat flavored onions and not just like onion flavored onions, because that would be gross. Alright, I'm gonna flip our canvas real quick just to make sure it's balanced for the most part. I'm gonna just adjust. I know the anime you're talking about, Sniper. No, I haven't watched it, and no, I'm not sure how to spell or pronounce it. I would probably be able to pronounce it if I saw it spelled correctly in front of me, but I don't know how to spell it. Like, I know of it, I don't know anything about it. Like, I think I know, like, which characters might be from it. Not 100%. But yeah. I need to look into it. I appreciate that, Sniper. Also, to clarify, just in case anybody isn't familiar with what Sniper is referencing, I am very particular about people sharing spoilers because sharing spoilers is really rude and inconsiderate, especially if like somebody's really looking forward to seeing like an anime series or reading a new book or a new movie or whatever, and somebody's just like, oh hey, did you hear this happened? No, I hadn't, but I guess I don't need to go enjoy that series now. But yeah, that's kind of just like a summary of how I feel about spoilers. Hey, welcome to Chat Hunter. How's it going? Oh, you're good. No need to apologize. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Hunter. If it's a spoiler, please don't share it. Awesome. That's good to know that it is popular enough for them to want to make a second season, because that's usually a really good sign that it's a decent story, because usually if it's not, people don't want to make a second season. I see. I think I was thinking something totally different. Never mind. Hambone, what are you getting into? What are you getting into? You're silly. It's a good... Oh, it's good. It's both fantasy adventure, but of sadness, but of happiness too. Some action here and there. Doggo, doggo, doggo. Say hi to everybody. And that was Hambone sniffing my microphone and then like just jingling his tags. He wants all the attention all the time because he's a good boy and he deserves it. They both deserve all the attention all the time. Lettuce. Oh my gosh, Sniper. Oh my gosh, imagine catching Hoki, but it was a Ditto. I would actually be really disappointed. Because, like, usually I'm actually not too disappointed when it's Ditto because I think Ditto is pretty cool. But, there have been a handful of times when I'm like, really? Like, that was something that, like, wasn't that big of a deal. Why was it a Ditto? Or like when it's oh, what's the little fox? I think it's Zorua. The little I think it's Zoroark. Never actually heard those pronounced, so I'm assuming that I pronounced them wrong, but I attempted. Oh, really? What are you talking about, Hambone? Oh, you're playing with your frog. Okay. Zorua. We'll see, because there's Zorua, and then there's I think it's Zoroark, like the bigger one. They're both really cool, but I like the bigger one better, I think. The smaller one's cuter though. I think I did the thing because my keyboard is too sensitive. I went to hit Control S and it did the stupid thing that it does sometimes. So I'm gonna close out of this real quick and reopen. It's a really frustrating glitch. I don't know specifically what causes it because everything else on my computer is working just fine, so I know it's not like an issue of not having enough memory or anything. But the program does just not like when you save and also try to do something else at the same time. End task. Actually, fun fact, you caught a shiny Zoroark on Halloween. You're a good sniper. Oh yeah, I forgot. Every time I have to reopen. Oh, that's right, I flipped the canvas. One moment. I'm gonna just go in Streamlabs real quick because I need to adjust this. Which it's really stupid. Screen's gonna look weird for just a moment. There we go, and our menus should all be back now. So I think the last thing I did was make that a little bit smaller because it is unfortunately too big for what I need it to be right now. Alright, so instead of that, I'm gonna just see how much space we have because I try to keep everything so that they're all consistent. So her necklace wouldn't really be visible there anyway, so I'm not gonna include it. I do want to make the eyes a little bit bigger, I think. Oh my gosh, Sniper, that's so many Kurisu coins. 41,000 is a lot too. Like, I don't know how many is the most I have on any other channel. Like, because I could be wrong, but I think a while ago they all like reset or something. Or maybe I just haven't been on anybody's channels recently because I've had nothing going on Twitch for a while. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to slam my stylus on my mic. But yeah, you're both awesome for having that many points, because that means that you hang out here a lot, so I appreciate that. This is the only channel you have the most? Oh my gosh. I'm curious about what song this is supposed to be a remix of, because I really have no clue. It's something Sonic the Hedgehog, but I am venturing to say that this is either from a game that I have never played, or it is a remix that's not amazing. Okay, apparently it's based on the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure 2. I've never played that game. Have you ever thought about doing a Cooking with Kurisu stream? For today's activity, we're doing Cooking with Kurisu. Yay! It's an old internet slang. Yeah, kudos is basically like, oh, good job. Like, congratulations. I just got this random foot cramp and it's really uncomfortable. One moment. You hate touchpads, so sensitive and make it smudgy easy. What kind of touchpads? Because I feel like I should know what you're talking about, but it's not. Oh, you're talking about like on a laptop. I'm sorry, Hunter, you threw me off for a moment because I've always pretty much used desktop PCs, so I'm like, what? It clicked though. But the thing that's worse than touchpads, you know those laptops that have like the little sort of like, almost feels like the eraser end of a pencil in the middle of it, and you use that to kind of like move around on the screen. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. Phone. You remember when you had your first leg cramp? It felt like you wanted to die. Oh no. Yeah, thankfully it wasn't that bad. Like, I'm just a little dehydrated because I'm not good at drinking liquids. So this is like wholly, completely, like totally my fault. But I was just like sitting in a weird position and I went to move and I'm like, oh no, the thing happened. The foot thing, the cramp. It went away pretty quick though. It lasted for an hour? Oh my gosh, Sniper, that's awful. Like, I've only ever had a cramp that lasted for a few minutes, so like I can't imagine. That's a horrible, horrible experience. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't even want to imagine what that was like, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. I used to get hand cramps too. You know, I've never really had hand cramps. I'm really thankful for that. do some weird stuff when it comes to cramps. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I mean, it makes sense though, because when something is cramping, usually it's because the muscles or tendons or whatever, I think it's usually muscles, are just like tensing up. So, like, that can cause whatever is attached to those muscles to do some things that you might not expect them to do. The only downside of this emote is that this scythe is gonna be... it's gonna have to be so small to fit in here. Oh my gosh. It's a mini scythe. For anybody who is new here, I am obsessed with, like, overly large, like, ridiculous, like, comically large scythes. It's just like, I don't know, I've always been obsessed with that type of design. Oh my gosh, Sniper. Ambone, what are you trying to get into? You keep going over there, but there is nothing over there for you. Like, he keeps trying to get into my boxes that I haven't completely unpacked yet. And now he's booping the dog in the mirror again. They seem to be getting along a little bit better. They don't bark at each other as much. This is why we can't have nice things. Hey, welcome to Chat Iron. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. Welcome to chat. I hope you've been doing well. It's been a while since I've really been streaming, so it's good to see you. Statistics homework. You know, that doesn't sound like something that would really bother me too much. I'd be a lot more disappointed if I had like history homework. Because history is one of those areas where like I can acknowledge and like respect the significance that it has, but as a subject, it is not a thing that I've ever been into because it's more like memorizing facts than it is like actually thinking and reasoning through situations, if that makes any sense. Because, like, I don't know. It's just always been hard because I don't care about it. Like, I do, but I don't. You know, it's been a while because the last time you were watching a stream, you were working at the dispensary still. Oh my gosh. How long ago was that? Because, like, for real, so, like, let's see. I've taken a lot of breaks from streaming over the past year and a half, 2 years. Because, like, I remember, like, when Zenmi and I first split up, that was in, like mid 2022. That's when I moved to the city. And then I didn't stream for a while after that because, like, the job that I had did not really allow for work-life balance because they scheduled me, like, the most consistent, ridiculous schedule. Did I say consistent? I meant inconsistent. I'm just, like, I'm frustrated, so I'm kind of stumbling over my words a little bit. But, like, basically, they made it so that I couldn't stream for the longest time. And then I'm like, eventually I basically told them like, hey, you seem to be able to schedule people who are part-time whenever they feel like working, which is understandable to some degree because like they're part-time usually because they have other things that they're doing. But at the same time, like, if somebody is devoting more of their week to your business, you should be making an effort to ensure that they are able to do the things that they want to do outside of work. So I kind of called them out on that. I'm like, you know, give me a consistent schedule or I'm leaving, basically. And so they did. Because I hate being dramatic like that. But, like, when it comes to jobs, I know that I'm usually one of the best employees that they have because, like, I am very particular about doing everything correctly and, like, following the procedures the way that they want them done. So, of course, they're going to try to keep me from leaving. Because, like, they also know that I'm very serious and genuine about everything that I say, so they knew that I would have, like, actually left if they didn't. But eventually I ended up leaving anyway because it was a really crappy job. So after I left there, I did actually stream for a while. Like between searching for another job, because I left that job before finding another one because it was that awful. It was kind of like a mutual, hey, like, we don't want to see each other anymore. But yeah, so I remember streaming for a while after that because there was a span of about a month or a little bit more when I was technically unemployed, which is really stupid because, like, it was, yeah, like, I don't know how I want to say exactly what I'm going to, but, like, I did apply for unemployment, like, just in case I needed that to, like, make ends meet, And they literally never got back to me, and it's like, I am literally one of the most responsible people. Like, I pay all my bills on time, like, I do everything that I need to, and you're not even going to, like, let me call you? So, like, yeah, that was fun. Because, like, I literally called them every day for, like, a week or two and couldn't get through to them once. And this was, like, during any and all hours of the day. So, moral of the story, don't be unemployed in Ohio if you need to have a job to pay bills. But anyway, after that, like, I started a job that had a consistent schedule that was the same every single week, and that's amazing. So I was able to stream after that. So I was streaming, and then I ended up moving, so I didn't stream for a little bit after that because I didn't have my computer set up or anything. And then after I got everything up and running, I don't know, I just had a lot going on in life, and then hell broke loose, and I ended up moving because I couldn't stay where I was. And now I'm here, and I'm streaming again, and everything's great. So yeah, that was me rambling about my life. I hope you all enjoyed my random nonsense. But yeah, let's see what everyone said here. Did you know that during World War II, both a Japanese and US submarine somehow came into contact with each other, but somehow both of them didn't have any ammunition? So what the US sub did was threw potatoes at the sub, and the Japanese thought they were grenades, so they surrendered. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not a fun process to navigate at all. It was a nightmare dealing with it in Michigan too. Yeah. Like, it's really stupid the way, well, despite that emotional roller coaster, I'm glad you're back, and maybe none the worse for wear. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, I won't go too far into it. I'm dealing with some pretty severe depression, etc. at the moment, but I am pushing through it, and everything's gonna be fine eventually. So, yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is because people make mistakes. Sometimes the reason is that other people suck. But it just depends on what you have going on in your life. But yeah. Thanks, Iron. I appreciate it. What are you doing, Hambone? You can't get up in my chair right now. Okay, you're gonna have to wait until I'm done streaming. No, you cannot get up here right now. You're gonna knock my chair over, silly. Are you gonna come up here and draw for them? Is that what you're doing? Was that a burp? Did you just burp? Excuse you. Oh my gosh, Hambone, you're gonna tilt the chair. Oh my god, stop! Get down! Hambone, down. Down. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Why did you say ooh? Oh, are you talking about Hambone burping? I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Like, really, you can't fault yourself for making mistakes. You can just fault yourself for not learning from them, if that makes any sense. 'Cause sometimes the only way to learn is by making mistakes. 'Cause if you do everything right the first time, you're never going to know how it feels to fail. Because sometimes failing is actually the most beneficial thing that can happen. Just because, like, you have to figure it out and, like, you know, solve the problem that you're dealing with or rebuild or whatever. Be right back. You need to turn off the turkey lights outside. What was that? Are you sleepy? That was a big yawn. I know you want to be up here, but you were going to knock my chair over, and I can't have that right now. Hambone, you're not coming up here right now. Go play with your toys, please. Okay? Go get frog or alligator. Good boy. Oh my gosh. Iron, that's totally kind of what I had in mind too. Because, like, at first I'm like, turkey lights? It's not Thanksgiving yet. But I think Hunter might have turkeys. Hey, welcome back, Sniper. Oh my gosh. What is she yelling about now? Hey, welcome to Trap Mink. How's it going? Snoop Boop in action. I looked at Throne, like, briefly, but I have not fully looked into it. Like, I'm gonna have to look further into it to see, because, like, I know as far as, like, the account information, it said I had to use a legal name, but for my privacy reasons, I'm kind of looking into seeing, like, whether or not that's public information or not. I'm doing well, thanks. Tonight we are working on another emote. Lots of distractions tonight, so there's not a whole lot of progress here. But this is gonna be my scythe emote. A little background on that. Scythes are my absolute favorite weapon. Just trying to figure out how to fit this in the frame, because I'm probably gonna have to put this at a kind of weird angle for it to mostly be visible. Welcome back, Hunter. Besides Pokemon, Spyro, and Crash, what's your favorite classic game from the era? So my first console was actually a Sega Genesis. My first game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I've actually never played Crash. Like, I played briefly for like a half hour or so at a friend's house, but like I've never actually played through the series. So that might actually be another thing that we can add to the queue, because I have the, I think it's the Insane Trilogy, the remake of the original 3 games for Crash on Steam. So we might add that to our list of games to play through. In addition, we'll also be playing, what was it, Geometry Dash? No, your real name is private. Okay, that's good. Because that's one of those things where, like, I don't know. Because it's not necessarily that I'm, like, hiding my identity, if that makes sense. Because there are some people who would view it that way. But I just really like my privacy. Because, like, for professional reasons, I like to keep my art separate from my professional life, just because drawing foxes all day can be kind of questionable isn't the word I want to use, but just not socially acceptable. Exactly. Yeah, like I will never understand the people who can use their legal name as a username, especially when they're like streaming and doing like whatever pen names. Yeah, I mean screen names and pen names are kind of the same thing, but not, because a pen name is usually more like a writer. But right? They either gotta be 16 plus or a silly goose. Oh, on that note, Because you said Goose. I really want to play the Untitled Goose game. Because that's another one that's on my list that I haven't played. Because basically you get to play as a goose and just wreak havoc. It seems like a good time. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the canvas back to make sure everything's looking alright. Might actually flip the scythe and see if it looks okay the other way. Edit, flip horizontal. That might actually work better. Oops. Right, I'm gonna rotate this all the way because I have to make sure that I have enough space here. I have to shrink this down and that sucks. I have to make my scythe even smaller. It's gonna be like a mini scythe, which, looking at this is actually like still a decent sized scythe, like compared to what would be realistic, but Kurisu's scythe blade is usually about the length of her whole body, if not bigger, so just to put everything in perspective. It looks like it's resting on the shoulder. Yeah, that's sort of what I had in mind. Yeah, because it's like really hard to get this to fit because at the end of the day, let's see, it's probably gonna end up having to be about right here to be able to get like the whole blade or most of it in the emote. Because like basically when it comes down to it, everything's gonna probably have to fit in a space kind of like this. So yeah. Actually, there's a show that's really funny and involves a guy that really loves books. He literally has 2 separate apartment rooms filled with books and one for him to sleep in. Forgot the name though. There's no season 2. Huh. I don't know what series you're talking about. Speaking of manga, you've been reading Black Clover and absolutely love it. You know, I started to watch the anime, but I don't think I finished the first episode. It wasn't because it seemed like a bad series, I just got distracted. That happens sometimes, and it's really sad when that happens, because usually when I start an anime, it's either because I get distracted or because I don't like the art style, and those are usually the 2 reasons why I don't end up finishing it. If that happens. Otherwise, like, there are some series that like grab all of my attention and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to watch all of this until I run out of episodes. It just kind of depends. 10 out of 10 recommended. Alright, I will definitely add that to my list, Iron. You haven't read the manga yet, but you've seen the anime. The new season hasn't come out yet. That sucks. You're a big fan of anything with a medieval theme, so you really like it. That's fair. Speaking of things with kind of like a medieval theme, I think there's a new season of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime coming out in like, I don't remember if it's supposed to come out in the winter or spring. I'm actually gonna check one moment. Let's go to Crunchyroll real quick. Okay, so I don't... When was this released? Oh no, that was 2023. Huh. So I guess... it must have been summer that it was released, because I knew that there were supposed to be more episodes, but these definitely say they were all released in 2024. So there's a lot of episodes for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime that I've not watched now. See, the issue is that they went way over the top with the title and they shouldn't have, because it's actually a really good series. Like, I am so particular about anime that, like, I won't usually watch something unless it piques my interest enough. And, like, just the sense of humor that the series has is worth watching alone without having any of the story, and there's actually a story behind it. So, like, I don't know, it's really sort of like, it's mostly lighthearted, but there are some serious moments, is the way I'll describe it, I guess. Reincarnated as a sword? What? See, that's the other thing though, because there are so many series now where it's like, oh, I got reincarnated as a this or that, and it's like, stop. I understand that most of those series are actually really great and funny and amusing, but like, stop. It's overdone right now. Wait for a few years and then come out with some more. See, that's the thing about the time I got reincarnated as a slime. Because, like, I would say that there's, like, a little bit of quote unquote fan service, but they do it, like, in more of a joking way, like poking fun at the fact that other series do it, like, as like a main selling point, but they're like, hey, look at that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one of those series that's like serious but not. Like, the series almost makes fun of itself in some ways while also still having serious moments with the serious story, if that makes any sense at all. And like you mentioned slice of life, it has like a little bit of a flavor of slice of life to it. I say it that way because I actually don't prefer slice of life. So it's like one of those series where like it has hints of that genre, but it's not like a main focus. Thanks for stopping by, Mink. I hope you have a good night at work. Wait, no, you're on the other side of the world, so I hope you have a good day at work. Be safe and enjoy it the best you can. I'll see you later. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon? Is kind of like that too. A little bit of everything. You were told by a friend if you like it, then you would like slime. I get that. And honestly, I would say that is probably an anime that's more fun to watch with someone else. But I mean, it's just as enjoyable by yourself. Core memory unlocked. You're gonna fix a train for Christmas? For the Christmas tree, really quick. Okay. Have fun, Sniper. do we have going on here? Gonna just hide that layer. Okay, the hand is a little bit weird. I think I was gonna draw it at a different angle and then I made it a different way. So, what's everyone up to tonight? Hope you're all enjoying the stream so far. Let's see, far left, middle row. Are you talking about... Oh, the angry... Oh my gosh. Like, are you talking about my rage emote right here? Fixing this train is a bit hard. Yeah, I can imagine. Do you know, like, what's wrong with it? Or are you just kind of, like, taking guesses in the dark? The one up, one left, two. The one looks like you're powering up. Up to two. Which one? Like, are you talking about this one right here? So that is my fight emote. That is in reference to my original fight emote. Just with the flames. So as a side note, this is canon. Kurisu's flames are always blue. There is not really an exception that I can think of, aside from like maybe severe circumstances, but like, yeah. So whenever there's fire, it's blue. But yeah, I can see how it kind of looks like she's powering up. Let's see, you don't know, but one side of the tracks keeps slowing down and the tracks don't look bad. That's weird. Yeah, that's actually probably one of my favorite emotes. Which I feel like kind of a jerk for doing this, but that is one that is actually, let's see, I forget if it's, so I think my fight emote is only available to tier 2 subscribers, and my ban hammer emote, which I'm gonna put here in chat, I typically only use that when somebody gets banned on the channel. But that's also part of the reason why it's only available to tier 3 subscribers, because it's more of a deterrent, I guess, which sounds awful to say it like that. But just because, like, I know that that is a subscription that most people aren't going to get, and I want to have the emote available to use, but I don't want everybody to be able to use it, if that makes sense. Because, like I said, I generally only use the ban hammer emote when somebody is actually getting banned. So I would hate for everybody to just be able to use it whenever, because it might get overused in situations where it's not actually relevant. Which I guess doesn't really matter, but it it just feels more impactful when it's like something that's actually happening. If I really wanted to go over the top, I could probably do the transparent blade. But I feel like that's probably not what is going on here. So something is vibrating my mouse, I think, because it... Okay, it stopped. Because, like, I noticed that it was really slight, but my cursor was kind of jittering, kind of like this, but like more subtle. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, what I was saying, like, it would probably be over the top, but like, I do have an instance. Awesome, good job, sniper. Well, that's the perk of your art. It's yours and you get to choose how it's used. Fair. I could also be super, super petty and like ban somebody if they used it inappropriately, but I think that would be over the top. Like, I would be opposed to somebody doing that because that wouldn't be cool. But just because you brought it up and we're talking about the ban hammer, it just seemed like an appropriate topic to joke about. Adjust the hair right here. I think I'm gonna make it floop the other way. Oops, that was my eraser, not my brush. It's been a day. Yeah, that piece of hair can't go there. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to get this to work. Oh no, wrong layer. Where it's not like intersecting with the way the scythe blade is. So I'm probably gonna have to flip it further this way. of torn. Like, I don't know, it just feels like something's off, but I don't know what it is. I'll probably end up reworking this one. Yay, lettuce. I don't know, it could actually just be because, like, I had to, like, cut out a bit of the face to fit the scythe here. I don't know. What do you all think? Do you think it looks... I don't know. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Cause like, from a distance it reads as a scythe at least. Probably gonna... I'll just adjust the hair, because I think that's probably what my problem is here. I appreciate that iron. You don't know why, but you feel like eating a mango sherbet. See, I'm not a huge fan of mango. It's okay. I've never actually had mango sherbet though. That might be good. Like, I don't know, mango is more of like an accent flavor in my opinion. It just doesn't really do well on its own, if that makes any sense. Right? It's almost like, oh, what flavor was it? So a while back, I don't know if they still have it or not, but Taco Bell had this dragon fruit flavored slushie, and it totally just tastes like fruit punch. And that is not at all what actual dragon fruit tastes like. Because like real dragon fruit, in my opinion, is kind of like, let's see here. It's kind of like a really bland kiwi, if that makes any sense. Like a mix between a really bland kiwi and a like a really bland kiwi mixed with like a cucumber. trying to figure out where to put this piece of hair. Because, like, I'm trying to keep it consistent with, like, where all the other pieces are, like in the other emotes, but I may not include it because it is causing problems. Because, like, I could just as easily say that it's just behind the scythe here, or I could just, like, yeah, it's better to just not even have it. Why do you think that, Sniper? Oh my gosh, Sniper. I would ask why, but I'm not going to. Oh, it's because, like, I don't know, like, sometimes simple things in art can actually be really complicated. Because, like, when you're looking at the composition of something, you're not just looking at, okay, I want this to be right. You're looking at, okay, I want this to be right, but it also has to fit into the piece and not look like it's part of anything else, and not, like, have lines that are intersecting in a way that they shouldn't be. So, like, theoretically, I could draw this piece of hair right here, just as an example. But even though it's in a spot that makes sense for the hair to be there, it intersects with the scythe blade in a way where it looks like it could potentially be part of the scythe, and it makes it so that the illustration does not read as well as it should. So that's just like one example, but I'm thinking I'm probably just going to skip that little section right there, because I feel like it's just going to end up being more of a distraction than anything. Right. Yeah, I agree. Because, like, yeah. You're a good, Sniper. Like, hair is actually something that is very difficult to draw correctly. Like, it's very easy to draw, but very difficult to draw the way that it should be, if that makes any sense. So, like, if you ever want any input or advice, I'm more than happy to share or offer, like, any sort of, like, constructive criticism if you want it. Because, I mean, like I said, hair is very difficult to figure out at first. So, like, I'm actually gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna add another layer right here. I'm gonna use this one right here as an example. But, like, a lot of times, like, I'm gonna do a different hairstyle that's, like, a little bit more, like, I don't know, more average, I guess, like, more, I don't know. But basically, so, like, let's say you have the top of the head right here. Typically, you have a part of the hair which is either usually, like, in the middle or, like, a little bit to one side or the other. So let's say we have, like, a middle part. So we can kind of, like, trace the shape of where the head would be, like, as far as, like, the curve of how the head would be shaped. And you'll notice how this is a little bit above where the actual head is. And the reason for that is because usually there's like at least an inch, inch and a half of hair, just depending on how much volume there is. So like you take that into account, and then you can kind of just like draw outward from like the center of where the part is. So like let's say the part is right here. So for the top of the hair, the top of the head here, we look at like the curvature of the head. You can kind of just like right here, like where the actual part is, I usually put like a little bit of a V or like something along those lines. Math. No, I'm trying to help. If you don't want it, I can stop. But basically, like, just kind of go out from where the part is, mostly following like the overall shape of the head. And then, so now, let's say up here we want bangs. So you can kind of just like guesstimate where like the front sort of part would be, where the bangs are. And we can kind of just, like I usually don't part the bangs like in the middle of the face, because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work well. Like it just doesn't fit most faces. So like I'll usually have like a little bit of a shape right there for the bangs, and then maybe like a little piece that breaks off. And part of the reason why I do that is because like a lot of times hair is not all in one piece. Like most of the time when you see somebody, there's like splits and parts like in their hair. So it makes sense for it to be that way in a drawing too. And then one thing that was recommended in a video I watched forever and ever ago, like a lot of times illustrators will have kind of like an M shape where the bangs are, and it's like not actually an M shape, but like let's say you have the eyes, and the reason for that is so that you can see where the eyes are, but the bangs will usually have like focused sections of hair like in the middle between the eyes, and then like the pieces might be shorter or like just completely split off away from where the eyes are, and then they'll like get thicker again on the other side of the eye so you can see the expressions better. But yeah, the biggest trick is to just kind of like follow the shape of where the head is, because 9 times out of 10 the hair is going to not just be like creating its own shape. It's going to be based on where the shape of the skull is, if that helps. And then as far as the back, like usually it's good to have like a little bit that's like visible behind where the head is. And that can kind of just depend on your preference. Like let's say we have a little bit in the front there, and that might not line up with this line here because that's in the back. We might have a line that's a little bit further up in the front so that there's a separation. And just a few lines here. And that sort of lets you know that the hair is on all sides of the head. I usually add like little bits here and there to make sure that like the bangs are visually separate from the rest. A cumulative distribution function, CDF, of a continuous random variable is the probability that for any number x, the observed value of random variable will be at the most x or p. Capital X is greater than lowercase x. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was my lesson on drawing hair. So yeah, I'll go ahead and delete that. So yeah, I hope in some way, shape, or form that was helpful. I don't usually do tutorials or anything on my stream, so that was like, I don't know. Hambone, what are you doing? You can boop the dog in the mirror, but he can't boop you back. Oh, really? That was a big yawn. Are you trying to tell me something? You ready to go to bed soon? That's okay, we're almost done. There's gonna be a hair quiz at the end. Oh my gosh. Nah, we can't be bothered for the hair quiz because the art school ran out of budgeting because they are no longer supporting the arts. Is that how you feel? Okay, you'll give back the ramen, no more math. Oh my gosh. Doggo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my gosh, I love how excited he gets. He's just so happy. Such a happy boy. Such a happy boy. Over here with his windmill tail. So like he doesn't just wag his tail back and forth. He wags it in a circle. Like it just goes around and around and around. It's okay, baby boy. I'm gonna finish up soon, okay? Okay. You'll get to go to sleep soon. You imagine Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog? So it's like that, except he's only got one tail. I've never seen a dog with two tails. To be fair, I don't think I've ever seen any animal with two tails. Like, I know that's definitely probably something that exists, right? Oh my gosh. I apologize, Iron. Sometimes I accidentally state the obvious just because I'm like thinking out loud and it's like, wait a second, that's not a thing that I need to mention. Dives in a Yamaha pose. Do you mean Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z? I think I'm pronouncing that right. Oh my gosh, Hambone, quit trying to eat your tail, silly. So I was petting him and he discovered his tail. So I guess just a little bit of his background. I don't know specifically what his situation was before I adopted him. They said that they took him from a situation where he was being abused, but I don't know if that was just like neglect or if that was actual abuse. But like in some ways he seems like he was like not super socialized. Like he picks up on things that usually you would expect a puppy to have already known. Like they think he's only about a year old, so like he's still really young and playful and everything, but like there are certain things where it's like, did you just find out about this? And like another example, like I think that they might have kept him in like a really small enclosed space or something. Like he might have been stuck in a kennel all day every day or something. Because like when I take him outside, like I hope this isn't too much information, but basically like you know how a lot of dogs will sort of kick up their leg when they're peeing? He literally just stands regular like and lets it just like fall to the ground, and it's like, what are you doing, Hambone? Because I've literally never seen a dog do that before. Your mom has a Bichon that gets angry when he sees his tail. Oh no. That must be like just, I don't even know the word. Like, to not know that it's your own tail. Because, like, you know he wouldn't be mad about it if he knew it was his tail. Like, it was a part of him. Unless he's upset, like, why do I have this? Go away. How dare I have a tail? Alright. Go ahead and condense these layers. This is our scythe emote. It's the goofiest thing. Like, it'll be all quiet and suddenly you'll hear some vicious snarling and think, oh shoot, the dogs are fighting. But no, it's just me trying to get his tail. Oh my gosh. Ambone, what are you barking about? Oh my gosh. Pupper, why are you yelling in the house? I think she probably heard something outside. She does that sometimes. But I think I am gonna go ahead and end the stream for tonight. Your dog used to Hey! Hambone, chill out. Are you barking at the dog in the mirror again? He's not gonna bark back at you. Hey. Hey. We don't do that. Your dog used to play bite when you got her tail, and then she'll spin and try to get her tail. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That is one downside of using this microphone versus my other one. Because my other one I have set up through NVIDIA Broadcast where it kind of blocks out a lot of the background noise. Hey. You need to chill out. Okay? You need to calm down. There's nothing bothering you right now. But yeah, you're welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight. Yep, it is raid time. So is there anything in particular that you would all like to see? I noticed that Kyra is on. It looks like Kyra is playing Call of Duty. It's cutting off which one it is. It's Black Ops, but I'm not sure which one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and raid Kyra tonight. If you haven't already, please consider giving her a follow. She is pretty fantastic. So yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I will be back same time tomorrow. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll most likely be continuing work on emotes. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, and I hope you all have a great evening. Good night, everyone.